Good morning, class. Yes, good morning, students. My name is Teacher V. Welcome to our first science class. I'm happy to meet you. Today we're going to discuss about states of matter. States of matter. So kindly take out your science books, write the day to day. Always when you write the date, your book becomes like a journal and you really treasure it. So kindly take out your book, write the day to day, and we're gonna write a few vocabularies. So kindly do that before we start our class. So today we are going to discuss about states of matter, and the first question is, what is matter? So what is matter? So everything around us is made of matter, and matter is anything that takes up space and mass. Matter exists in three states. We have solids, liquids, and gas. So our picture here can show us, this is an example of a liquid, solid, and gas. So and this is the way the particles represent themselves. We have the solid, liquid, gas. I'm going to show you as we continue in terms of like particles. So we're gonna start with solids first. So for solids, they have properties. So materials in solid state keep their shape unless force is applied to them. For example, if I apply force on this pencil, it's gonna break. So unless I've applied like a lot of force on a solid material, it never really changes its shape. So solids can be cut, squashed, or twisted, and they change their own shape. Solid materials always take up the same amount of space. They do not spread or flow like like liquids and gases. So here we have pictures of examples of solids that we meet in our day-to-day lives. For example, we have sugar, we have thread, we have, what else can you see here? Please help me identify these objects. We also have some soil, we have the robots for the traffic lights. What else can you see? Yes, we have the ice cream here. What else can you see in the picture? You can also give me an example that is not in the picture. Okay, thank you. We can continue to liquids. So for the liquids, materials in liquid state take the shape of the container they're in. For example, I have, what liquid do you know? Maybe water? Okay, maybe Thai tea. So when we take our tea and pour it into a glass, it takes the shape of the container. If we take again our tea and pour it, let's say, in a bucket, it will take the shape of the bucket. If we take it and maybe pour it into a bottle like this one, it's gonna take also the shape of the bottle. And then although liquids can change shape, they do not change the volume. The volume still remains the same. So liquids can be measured. We measure liquids. Liquids have mass, right? In our math class we learned that, or physics. So the volume of our liquid don't change. This means they still get the same amount of space. So liquids are pulled down to the bottom of a container by gravity. And we know center of gravity is what gives, the center of gravity is what gives shape or what makes our object to be at standstill. We call it COG, the center of gravity. And liquids can flow or be poured. Then last we have gases. Materials in gaseous state can be spread out to completely fill the container or room they're in. Gases have weight, gases can be squashed, gases do not keep their shape. For example, when you're walking and when you're walking on the road and the car exhaust removes something from behind, that is a gas, and that gas takes they do not keep a shape. For example, you open this door and some gas, let's say from maybe a car, comes in. They don't have a definite shape. They will take up the space of this place, if that makes sense. Okay, let's continue. So, and for each and every matter, they have particles. solids have particles, liquids have particles, and gases have particles. But all these particles are in different forms. So that's what we're going to look like, because that is what makes a solid, a liquid, and gas, a gas. So we can explain the differences between solids, liquids, and gases by knowing what they're made of. Scientists have found that all materials are made of very tiny particles. These tiny particles, we can't see them with our naked eyes, and even when we use the microscope, right? So even if, like, I give you this pencil, I tell you go and look at it under a microscope, you can't really see the particles that make up this pencil. That's because we can't see the particles with our naked eyes or with the microscope. Here we have a link to a YouTube video. We can see the different particles that make up solids, liquids, and gases. So we have a little bit of an experiment here. How many excited for experiment? Okay, so we're going to do some magic here. We are going to change our matter, whatever we have, from solid to liquid, and then lastly to gaseous state. Are we excited? Okay, we can get ready for our experiment. We have the materials here. We have ice cubes, we have a clear glass. We can use the sun, but if we want to change our matter to gas, we need to use a Bunsen burner. I did not come with a Bunsen burner. But yeah, we can improvise something. So we're going to do a very interesting experiment here. Today we are going to do some awesome magic. So we're going to melt our ice cubes. Who has never seen ice cubes? I'm sure everyone, when they get served their Thai tea, they see the ice cubes, right? So today we're going to change our ice cubes until they become vapor, until we don't see them again. Okay, so we're going to put our ice cubes in a cup, and then we're going to heat it. So the heating is what we call melting, the process of changing solids to liquid. The process, we call it melting. And then we're going now to melt, after we melt our water, after we make water, now we're going to heat it to make vapor, which is vaporization process. We boil our water and we make it in gaseous state. Before we finish, I have a few vocabularies. Kindly write them down, because we are going to use the vocabularies. I'm going to test you because even in science we do dictation. So kindly write down, always write down the words we learn in class, because we are also learning English as we learn science. So I have a few vocabularies for you right here. So you can write the word matter. Today we learned about matter. Can you remember what is matter we said? Okay, then we have melting. I just said it right now. Melting is a process where we change solids to liquids. And then we have solid. You remember the definition? Yeah, you can write anything that you remember about it. You don't have to do exactly what the teacher is doing or exactly what the teacher is saying. You can just write anything as an explanation that you remember about the word. So, and then we have liquids. We have the word liquid, we have the word liquid, and then we have gas, and then we have evaporation, and then we have freezing and condensation. We never did about freezing and condensation. We're going to do it in our next class. Thank you.